Now, the Lil Pump Prison, obviously I'm not talking about an actual prison, but it's almost like an imaginary one that Lil Pump is trapped in as we speak. So yeah, let's talk about it. By the way, if you could do me a favor and make sure you're subscribed, that's number one. And number two, if you enjoy my videos, that is, drop a like for your boy, man. It takes 2 seconds and it helps out the channel a lot. Anyway, let's continue. Now, the last time I spoke about Lil Pump was that falling off video I made a couple months ago. I talked about how his buzz had completely died down, and now a couple months later, his situation hasn't gotten any better. This once again just goes to show that no matter how hot you are as a rapper in the moment, at the end of the day, man, it's about longevity. It's about not relying on those spikes of relevancy, because like in Pump's case, when you've finally became that popping rapper and you've established a specific perception of yourself, that's when that trap comes. And in this case, I think we could say that Lil Pump has fell into the trap. Now, like I said in the past, rappers like Lil Pump are always gonna have a fan base. Not only that, they truly will never actually go broke. Now, anything can happen, and this doesn't really apply to every single rapper, but I'm saying most rappers who've at one point made some kind of name for themselves on a big level, but later might have fell off, will always have some kind of fan base because they've simply filled a demand in the industry, and there's always gonna be a certain amount of people who will support these rappers. Unless they've completely just, and I mean completely just thrown everything away and fuck everything good they had going for themselves, they'll be good for a very long time. This is especially the case with someone like Lil Pump. That Gucci Gang money won't run out anytime soon, trust me. But on the other hand, Lil Pump is clearly still trying to get back on a horse, and he's been doing a couple of questionable things to achieve that goal. What actually inspired this video is what I saw him post on his Instagram the other day, and this is what he posted.
I started a new trend. I painted my nails, obviously, but now I got my toes painted. Bitch, stop playing with me.
This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the Lil Pump Prison. Lil Pump is now, after being such a hot rapper in the past, finding himself in a place where he has to paint his toenails to get people to talk about him. Now, hey, you can of course do what you want. Another man painting his toenails ain't none of my business, but I'm obviously here to talk about why he might be doing this in relation to the music. He's obviously trying to make people talk about him, and it's working. Very recently, Lil Pump also posted a snippet of some new music that he's working on. Not only does he sound like XXXTentacion in that snippet, but he also kind of is starting to look like him. Now, knowing Lil Pump, I feel like this song that he previewed probably won't ever get released. He most likely put this snippet up just to get people talking. I'm only saying this because this is so far from what his actual music sounds like. It simply won't be received well by the kind of fan base that he has. Releasing a song like this for Lil Pump would be too big of a risk. This is a complete 180 for Lil Pump sound-wise. Now, if this does get released, it's either gonna be some kind of collaboration with a Travis Barker. It's maybe just a verse he has on someone else's record, so it would most likely not be on one of his own projects, or he'll just save it as a last resort kind of thing, because I can't really see his label even approving of something like this. That's actually another aspect of this prison that I'm talking about. The label obviously has demands on him that he has to fulfill, and those demands won't be met with a track like this. Let's be real. Now, if Lil Pump by chance releases this song that he previewed, I'm gonna be the first person to say that he's the bravest man on this earth, because his fans won't really eat this one up. By the way, the title of that video is literally gonna be Lil Pump is a brave man if he ends up releasing that song. Remember this. Back in February of this year, just around 2 months ago, Lil Pump put up this Instagram story telling people that he was gonna quit making music. Yes, you guessed it. It was a lie. Only 3 days after, he said that he was kidding and used that opportunity to promote a new song of his while he was at it. So obviously this whole thing was planned. It was staged. I think you see the pattern here. This is all for the sake of attention. This is a rapper who was labeled as an Instagram comedian from the second he came into the game, so obviously he has to keep the ball rolling. It's a hustle though. You either fade away and let people forget about you, or you do what Lil Pump is doing. I'm not sure how well this is gonna translate into possible album sales whenever he does end up dropping one. Even if it doesn't happen though, just from the constant media coverage he's getting because of all the antics, that's all that matters from a business perspective, because like they say, any publicity is good publicity. This is the Lil Pump Prison though. Lil Pump is a prisoner to the antics that blew him up so much in the beginning of his career, and now he's stuck still chasing that relevancy by doing things like showing off his painted toenails to the world. It's working though, since I'm talking about it, right? So I can't really hate on it, but yeah. What do you think about this? Is Lil Pump a prisoner to the behavior that blew him up to begin with? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.